All right, guys, today we are in East Tennessee at the family farm, and we're getting ready to run up to a very popular off-road park known as Windrock. So right along. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. Isn't this Sarah's rig? It absolutely is, but I've stolen it for testing purposes while she wasn't looking. I mean, visiting with family in Tennessee. Over the years, we developed a bit of a tradition when we come home for the holidays. So, the McCuiston men loaded up in the GX and my brother Caleb's 4Runner and set out to fill our craving. This year, we've expanded on our tradition, and first up is some good old-fashioned Tennessee wheeling. Having grown up in the East, we know firsthand how hard it can be to find legal places to get off the beaten path and satisfy the need for some mud and dirt under our wheels. Fortunately, my family doesn't live too far from a place that was set up to do just that, Windrock Off-Road Park. The land that Windrock Park now occupies was originally a coal mining venture started in 1872 by the Coal Creek Company. The over 300 miles of recreational trails was once a massive industrial venture to retrieve coal, oil, natural gas, and timber from the mountainsides. After paying for our day use ticket, it was time to hit up the mountain and air down. Main things, make sure that needle goes back in. Now we get a lot of questions about the reason for letting air out of our tires when traveling off-road. There are actually several reasons for doing this. First and foremost, it allows for a much smoother ride on rough roads. This doesn't only protect your backside, but also your suspension components from excessive vibration. Think of your tires as your first line of defense for reducing wear and tear. Secondly, airing down protects the tires from puncture from a sharp rock or stick. Imagine a balloon that's only slightly inflated. It's much harder to pop when it can conform to whatever you're poking it with. And last but not least, this process increases traction in just about any type of terrain, since it lengthens the contact patch with the ground. The common misconception is that it is intended to widen the tire, and while this is the most visually apparent effect, the width of the contact patch is minimally affected. We're also often asked, what's the best tire pressure to run in various conditions? And the answer is a bit more subjective, since everyone has different tire sizes, different wheels, and different loads on their vehicle. Today, we're running 18 PSI since it's a decent compromise for different types of terrain. We've written an article on this subject, and you can find the link in the video description for more details. While Windrock Park offers everything from mild to wild when it comes to trail difficulty, today, we're just here for some fun and to play with our camera gear while testing the new Icon suspension and BFG KM3s on the GX. Since recovery gear is yet to come on both our rigs, we're sticking to the basics and going full poser. That's right, I said it. But feel free to share your thoughts in the comments as well. They hurt less than Sarah would if I tell her I broke her rig on the first trip without her. That's one thing about trail recording, it'll put you back in shape for sure. What's bad though is I'll be like flat out of shape and then like start running at 11,000 feet. I run like 20 feet and I'm like, call an ambulance. Now the beauty of these off-road parks is that the world is your playground, as long as you follow the guidelines and stay safe, of course. In the wild, an attempt like this would not be considered treading lightly, so keep that in mind when traveling on our public lands. It's also not great for the engine since your oil is greatly displaced, so we didn't stay like this for long. I have to say though, the traction was quite impressive.
Dude, like the picture can't do it justice.
I'm just gonna take a nap right here. You guys go ahead.
Wasting
Is he still filming back there?
I can't tell.
For you camera nerds, today we're running our Panasonic GH5 cameras. One is fitted with our workhorse lens, a 7 to 14mm wide angle that we use for 70% of our travel shots. On the other GH5, we're expanding our quality by using some new Canon E-mount Sigma art lenses, the 18 to 35mm f1.8 and the massive 50 to 100mm f1.8. We're mounting this with a Metabone speed booster adapter. My brother Kyle is testing his new Blackmagic Pocket 6K, which can capture some incredible imagery. It's just not the most stable footage for what we like to do. This is ultimately why we went with the GH5, since both the sensor and lens stabilization is quite impressive. If you'd like to see a walkthrough of our camera gear and editing process, let us know in the comments.
This is the making of the behind the scenes.
Alright guys, so this is nice. I've got my film crew and we're just hanging out back here in the back seat. I'm not even driving today. And Sarah's not even here. So I think we're gonna hire these two guys to just be full-time camera crew, editing crew. We're negotiating salaries right now. We're about, I don't know, $50,000 apart, but maybe we'll figure that out at some point. You might be surprised to find that this land and its quest for coal not only etched its way into the hillsides, but had its own bloody history etched into time by what is now known as the Coal Creek War. After the Civil War, the South was struggling to rebuild, and the state of Tennessee decided to lease its prisoners to mining companies to not only reduce prison costs, but to bring profit to the state coffers. Unfortunately, hardworking residents soon found themselves without jobs and food for their families when the mines fired them and replaced them with forced labor. Hungry and desperate, the miners banded together and peacefully captured the prisoners and their guards, sending a message to the Tennessee state governor that things needed to change. Over the course of 2 years, the dispute would turn bloody as the governor built a fort overlooking the town of Coal Creek to threaten the miners and their families with artillery fire from the Tennessee militia if they attempted to interfere. After several victories and losses on both sides, the governor failed to be reelected due to public sentiment for the miners' plight. With a new governor in place, the convict labor program died and the miners returned to work. Today, few people realize the struggle for survival that took place on these very hills. We took the opportunity to put my brother Colin in the driver's seat for his first off-highway driving experience. While spotting here wasn't necessary in normal situations, it's important to give new drivers the input they need as they learn the parameters of the vehicle. This was also to reduce the chance of Sarah shooting us both if something were to go wrong. You never know what could happen if you missed a small detail, even on a mild trail, like this deep wash. My first experience with the GX has really impressed me with its traction and power. The rumble of the V8 as it idles along is downright sexy. In fact, I'm hoping Mama Bear has an exhaust on her wish list because someone needs to turn up the volume a bit on that beautiful sound. While nothing we did on this trail was crazy, I can tell you she's going to give the 4Runner a run for its money when fully outfitted. Shh, don't tell Silver I said that. We will cover our impressions of this new rig in great detail on our new podcast. Maybe roll the windows up next time. That was close. With our ride into the East Tennessee Hills complete, it was time to air back up before hitting the road to our ultimate destination. We've added this all-in-one dual ARB kit to the GX, along with the ARB tire repair kit, for one very important reason. Did you pick up on it? That's right. We currently have no spare mounted anywhere in this rig, so we needed to be able to repair any flats until the Kmart rear bumper arrives from Australia, and this was the ticket. Once the build progresses, this kit can be disassembled and relocated to the rig on a more permanent basis. With our tires aired up and ready to go, we hit the hard roads. Today had been the perfect opportunity for us to catch up with each other after months of being apart. The opportunity to mix our passions of creating stories on film with a bit of Tennessee clay made the tradition all the better. But now, our bellies were rumbling with every mile traveled as we made our way to complete the final, most important step of our yearly tradition.
Big place to go and shoot too, but I think they've started doing the same thing California was doing. Oh, it's on. Let's do this. I'm hungry.
All right, guys, in true McCuiston fashion, it's time for our annual Crystal Fest.